Alrighty, welcome to this cast on a Saturday evening. It's 5 p.m. here. I'm going to be your host, Etch, with co-caster Lampy28, joining me for a game of KFOT versus the Newbies, a late EU matchup, although KFOT aren't in EU, so international matchup, let's say. How are you doing, Lampy?
I am doing excellent, Edge, just excellent, and very happy to be here right next to you, learning from the best, and we shall see a great matchup also.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see what we've got in stock here. Let's talk about these teams a little bit. So, you want to tell us about who's on these teams, what to expect from them, and what are your thoughts? I haven't actually been casting either of these teams in a while. Cast KFOT a while back, but have you cast them lately?
Yeah, I've casted KFOT, also Team K. They've gone by Team K and KFOT, but is the Korean team. An excellent group of guys. I have played with them in comps and also, been, casted them here in the IVRL. But they're currently sitting at 6th place in the EU side of things in the standings. Very good seating there, really showing their strength and their teamwork. And right behind them, the Newbies are in 8th. So we just had a Newbies cast just a few days ago, or last week. So a lot of good strategies. The EU tends to play a little bit slower. I don't know what it is in their water over there, but they play a little bit slower, a little more methodical. So we shall see definitely some good onward. Team K is a little more aggressive. The Korean team, they also, very methodical in their approaches and their strategies. But they do like that close quarters a little bit more than they like them long-range maps. And we are heading to quarantine to start things off, which is interesting. Lots of objectives, 14 objectives, so you just never know what you're going to get. It's a big roll of the dice, and that's why I love quarantine, because you cannot just totally pre-plan for quarantine, because you really don't know what objectives you're going to get.
Now, I do remember I've watched KFOT play Quarantine at least twice. I think both of the matches I've casted them. I remember seeing them play Quarantine and watching, I want to say it was Dita go on some flanks. Maybe it was CL54. I don't know which of the two. But I distinctively remember watching them do late round flanks. So probably something to watch out here in this match here. Just, identifying that spawn, waiting for to figure out the split, right? Like, are they heavy north, heavy middle? What is that split looking like? And then say, all right, I'm gonna go be opportunistic and just find my way. So something to watch out for as we get into it. But roster-wise, we've got EJ, Chachinobi, KFOT Seal, 54, Dita, and Fever on the KFOT side. And from the newbies side, we've got Mr. Trip, Short Undead, McGlocks, Jason, and Laidback Egg. All names that we've seen before, I think. Short Undead is the one name that I'm not familiar with from this list. Potentially a new player, I don't know, might be wrong there. But they're all in. We're all waiting to start it up with the crashed plane OBJ. What are your thoughts on this one?
Oh man, I do like this one. The plane crash OBJ does offer a little bit of that close quarters action once you get towards the objective. So you have the big wide open map, but once you start getting close to objective, you have that huge impact building, and then you have the inside of the fuselage of the plane to deal with. There is a sneaky little spot outside of the building, right by the doorway towards the south. There's a crack in the wall, and you can even cap from outside there, which offers that extra little I need to check one more angle than I normally do type of play there.
Right. So as we jump in, we'll see how the defense gets set up. I mean, like you're saying, there's a lot of cap spots, so setting up defensively is important to try to have the right coverage, the right rotations that will give you confidence in where you end up in. But Quarantine's a tough map for that reason. A lot of rotations and movement needed.
Yeah, and the defense getting a very wide kill box. One going far to the west, and that will be, it looks like Mr. Trip moving far west, going to get to that southwest corner by gas station there to ensure that they don't get approach from that side because it's a very powerful position if the offense can get around hospital and into gas station and come from your backside.
Yeah, for sure. And there does look to be one attacker coming that way with the remaining 4 more on the northern half of the map, with 2 kind of creeping up the far north. So let's go check over with them and see what their push is going to look like.
Yeah, and Short Undead here, he is taking fire from the 2 in the north. He's got that corner of the hospital taken down right now, and just making sure nobody approaches from that north broken wall.
Yeah, definitely a power position. No one really to back him up, though, so there won't be a lot of refrag opportunities, but if he can reroute them, which looks like it is what's happening, they didn't get the pick, they're going to try to rotate back east a little bit and approach him a little bit differently.
Yeah, I think they quickly figured out that they're not going to make it through that little opening in the wall in the north. And like you said, they rotated back a little bit. Still going to take the north approach, just not come through that little tunnel of death there.
No one there.
Mr. Tripp putting some shots into an empty void, realizing
and Seal makes the flash onto Short Undead. He is pushing him. No supporting line here for the defense to help out Short Undead, and Seal does get that great flash kill.
But Mr. Tripp with a long pick. Wow.
That was a heck of an angle there.
Yeah, great refrag. I mean, nobody was close, but he said, I don't have to be close.
Nope. The bullets go far. And it must have been all the practice Mr. Tripp was doing in Onward today. I saw him streaming today. As he does every day.
Yeah, do check him out on Twitch. Mr. Tripp at Twitch.
Yep. A lot of Onward players do play Twitch, so or stream to Twitch. So if you do see some of their names, look them up in the Discord. Usually they have their Twitch links in their profile as well. Same with us. We have IVRL number 2. You are watching currently IVRL 1. So you can look up number 2 right at the end of it. Also give it a like, give it a follow, subscribe. I believe Amazon Prime members currently get a free subscribe, and we would love that, supporting the casters here.
Yep. That is correct. Give us a subscription. It supports IVRL, supports the casters. And you get some fun perks with it, like a badge, and I'm sure there's going to be more later down the line. And Jason finds that line, gets that pick on Fever. Fever was looking, but good pick from Jason. 3v4.
Yeah, Dita on top of North Roof here, just trying to figure out where them shots came from. He's got a dead partner next to him. Knows this is going to be a hot spot. Has that low crouched angle right now, just scouring through the upper parts of Impact Building before he decides to make this approach.
Yeah, meanwhile, the other 2 attackers, EJ and... who's the other one? Actually, Chachinobi's creeping up to center. Very close to engagement here, looks like. Oh, Mr. Tripp is going to look and find another. Right place, right time. EJ creeping up the west red ramp now. One of 2 members, along with Ditto. Good approach. I think they're both taking good angles, but dealing with center is pretty important. I thought, let's see, where is Mr. Glocks exactly? It's pretty tucked, so it wouldn't have been spotted.
Wait, red
yeah, and just in case you haven't seen in the chat, predictions are up. You're able to bet channel points on who is going to win map 1. Will it be KFOT? Will it be Newbies? We'll also have predictions up for map number 2. Now, channel points are your viewer reward. So the more you watch, the more you chat. If you subscribe or follow, the more points you get.
Big time pick from EJ, who was onto Mr. Tripp, who was attacking him. Laid back egg throws a flash. EJ ducks down. Egg not going to really push it, though. Jason going to be the one pushing it. EJ might find him if he peeks. He peeks, he looks, he misses the shots. Sees both of them there, I think. Tucks back in. And Egg going to come out, get the pick.
Dita a little bit behind here on the timing. He needs to come in 15 seconds. What is he going to do here? He has a little bit of a line. Currently, everybody else split apart. If he can stay in this doorway, he might be able to get this cap. Going to get one kill, but taken down quickly by laid back Egg. Newbies taking round 1.
Yeah, it was a good round from Newbies there. Some good attack angles by KFOT. EJ there at the end, I thought, could have potentially had 1, if not 2, and would have really changed things around, because then be rotations and Dita might have had an angle. But nevertheless, good defensive hold on a tough OBJ from Newbies.
It was, and it was a good, very good hold by the defense. The offense had a good approach as well. A little slower than I would have liked to have seen. Took a little while for them to move up to the locations they needed. At the end, they were coming down to the last few seconds to push OBJ. And when you get to that point, you're making decisions you wouldn't normally want to make because you're running out of time. You're not checking corners you need to check, and you're not getting yourself set up. So a little bit more aggression, a little bit more time management would have been helpful in that round.
Yeah, I think Mr. Tripp with some crucial rotations back and forth. He was really the guy hunting them down as the callouts came in and rotating to adjust, and he picked off two attackers and really saved. He didn't save Undead, but he avenged him at least, and then he saved Glocks and Center Burning. It could have almost came to get EJ was in a firefight, so definitely some good moves and plays from him, and the rest of the defense I think held their ground and had control of things, allowing that to happen. It's what you want in a tough OBJ like that.
Yep. Very good explanation on that. As defense does get themselves loaded in, ready to defend once again. Objective stays in the same location. Offense and defense both get a trial run at both.
And make it to hospital.
KFOT on defense also going to spread out as you do on this map. Because it is such a large map, you don't want to give the opponents too much real estate, so you do spread yourself out. Make sure you are protecting all areas of the map.
For sure, same spawn, and spawn revealed now, but they're splitting. Looks to be similarly to how the KFOT split was. Majority north attack, 2 going south, though, from this. KFOT Seal quite pushed up, but Mr. Tripp going to find the first pick onto North Roof.
Yeah, and it was a great spot there by Mr. Tripp from that north alleyway. Seal had no idea he was there, and looking more towards the east.
Yeah, Seal and EJ both with shots onto that south crosser. Great spot by Seal. Pushed out. Suppressed. I don't know if they know where he is yet.
And that was Dita in the north. I said Seal earlier. My bad. But EJ, man, look at EJ on this massive flank.
Oh, wow. Yep. And he's talking. He's
Egg
running.
Heard him. Oh! Doesn't know where they're at. It's just blind fire right now. Has no idea. EJ finally finds him. Neither one of them were quite sure where the other person was.
Yep. A lot of fire for two confused people.
They were painting walls right there, I'll tell you what. But that aggression from EJ right there is going to just completely halt the offense. And they're like, wow, we need to now look backwards because otherwise we're going to die. So regardless of how much damage EJ does, he has now put that mental aspect into these players that we cannot move forward or really move at all until we figure out where this guy is at. And in a map like this, you can do that and still stay safe and also burn a ton of time.
Yeah, time is what's on his side, as well as an unfortunate team kill, which is also the side effect of this. Undead about to get shot and be fully dead. leaving just Mr. Tripp alive. That flank, I mean, that team kill was a result of that flank. It has to be. It has to be.
Yeah, Mr. Tripp's scared of someone behind him, you know, getting that flank, and then all of a sudden a body appears around the corner, and, you know, and Tripp has eyes on EJ. Oh, I thought he did. But EJ is taking shots. What a impressive round by EJ.
EJ with a happy celebration there. This is why KFOT picked this map. Like we were talking about before, we've seen, I've seen, now comes back to memory, EJ was the one who was doing this and really tormenting teams with some of these flanks. And on many maps, flanks are easy to shut down with clear lanes and some good teamwork, but Quarantine is very tough to do so on, just because of the amount of cover and the size of it and how it's laid out. That risk paid off there, and really good round for EJ.
Yeah, and due to the fact of the kill in the north right off the bat, Mr. Tripp finding Dita in the north, that gave EJ that, you know, that tell that, all right, they spawned more towards the north or towards the east, that he could push that south and push it hard, giving him the time to rotate around. So very good map awareness there by EJ. See what the newbies are going to have in store. As we do change objectives, we are heading to Tank Courtyard. This is a tough one. This is a very tough one to defend. I feel like this is such an easier one to attack because the defense positions are much harder and more open around this one.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. It is a hard one to defend because you kind of have to spread out to defend it. And then if you start getting pushed heavy, you got to collapse back in just as quickly, which all makes it tough to defend. So 2 tough OBJs back to back. Let's see how Newbies choose to defend this one.
Quiet on the offense side right now. We got 3 pushing to the south as 2 are pushing north and central.
Following along with the south attack at the moment to see where they end up. Does look like the defense is more biased towards north than south.
And then North Chachinobi is getting awfully close to Mr. Tripp here as shots have been traded, but no connection there. And Mr. Tripp rightfully backed behind the building, not going to give up his life just for a long shot. Just the fact of putting those shots out, again, is letting letting the opponents know, hey, I'm here. So this is not going to be an easy push. I guess Chachinobi does slow down his push a bit, checking more corners.
And meanwhile, Fever and EJ are on hospital with laid back, kind of the only defense here, as well as
Chachinobi is going to be picked off by Mr. Tripp in the north here, as Mr. Tripp trying to shoot his toes underneath the money trucks, as they call them, or the armored trucks. And what a trade comes out between the two. Really, Chachinobi got lucky there. Yeah, he got lucky because Tripp had him eyed up before Chachinobi knew where he was at.
Yeah, I don't think Tripp had a line maybe onto his feet, which was a factor there. I think he was shooting him in the open and then couldn't get the shots on the feet, and then he came back in the open. But meanwhile, in the south, Laidback Egg has spotted these two, took some shots, and now kind of got suppressed by Seal over in center. But they're going to have to attack him soon.
Short Undead here, hiding in a great defensive spot, but also his foot is poking through the wall. He is clipping a little bit now and then, and before you know it, the guy Dita on, impact building there may find that foot poking through. So you players out there, it's not that you can control, but you do need to be aware that your body can clip through some of these walls and stuff.
Egg does find one in the south. Almost had a shot onto a second. Gonna toss a flash. Gonna find Fever. Seal not there to protect him. Egg with a double there.
Nice job by Egg. Great flash.
Yeah, Undead still alive. Seal, though, gonna find Jason for the second time. Laid back, though, gonna find that refrag quickly. They have not been able to attack and deal with Egg here.
Only down. And if Short Undead does make this peak, he will find Seal in the road, as I don't think Egg can quite reach him there.
Dita gonna get res, but Egg gonna get Dita. If another res comes out, let's see what happens.
They need a smoke or something to help this positioning.
And Undead could help out here, but Egg going on a push. It looks like might find one. Gonna look for the second. Can't get the second. Taking shots, and Dita finally takes him down.
Yeah, Short Undead really. I would have thought by now he would have made some type of rotation or peak. All the gunfire and the people dying around him. But he really is just staying completely quiet and holding his line. He's like, this is my line. I'm not giving it up.
Yeah, very disciplined. Very disciplined, but he might find Dita here, and yep, he does.
Newbies taking round number 3.
Yeah, that was another solid defensive hold for them, with the Egg doing the majority of the damage. I think ended up killing 2 in the south, the 3rd in the middle, got revived, a 4th in the middle, got revived, a 5th in the middle. Really, really good work, and they knew where Egg was. It wasn't a surprise, but I think they maybe thought he rotated out. He didn't. He stayed there and made some really good plays.
Yeah, and this was a great round to emphasize KDs and the stat lines. And as we say many, many times, new players out there, don't worry so much about your KDs, your kills, and your deaths. It can happen like it did there. Everybody pushed south on Egg, and he just did an amazing job, holding down his side, and he got a bunch of kills. Now, the other players didn't get any kills. Now, you look at their KD record, did they do something wrong? No, they didn't do anything wrong, right? They held the angles they were supposed to hold. They did what they were supposed to do, and they were just as important in the win as the other guys. So don't be going out there thinking, man, I didn't get any kills this round. How many times did you die? Did you hold the angles you were supposed to hold? Those are all big, important factors in this game. Just as important.
Yeah, for sure. As much as we kind of were crucifying Undead there for not peeking and getting those 2 kills, he also held his angle and got the final kill, right? Who knows? He could have peeked and died.
Exactly. And there wasn't much of another defense left besides the guy on objective who was tucked inside the building. You can't see behind one side of the tank and very exposed. So Short Undead's angle was extremely important, and hats off to him for not moving like he did when he was supposed to do, and didn't lose that angle.
Yeah, for sure. Quick south spawn for the offense as they push heavy south, 1 north. Early shots do come out, but the defenders do end up crossing.
And as you called things, Seal is making this flank around the north side, ready to surprise these guys once again, as Trip does find him. I think the Newbies have caught on.
Yeah, that one lone attacker definitely did his job of clearing the flank. Meanwhile, on the south, looks like Chachinobi was able to pick one off. They've also pushed into hospital at this point in the south.
Yeah, they have. It's you'd be surprised who's on offense and who's on defense here, as KFOD is really pushing heavy and pushing out. Again, not wanting to give Newbies any areas of the map that they don't need to give up. Seal's still alive over here, probably able to call out Trip once he is exposed.
Yeah, Glocks is just like a few feet away from killing EJ. He must have heard him come in. But EJ just hanging out, holding this angle. Glock's right behind him. Interesting sight.
Yeah, Glock's hearing these footsteps. Will he get team killed? As Jason hit his eyeball in the inside of this hospital. Glocks doesn't want to give away his position, like you mentioned. And Trip moving up, finally confirming Dita. Oh no, he got Dita Oh, Dita was in the far north. I didn't even see Dita make this huge rotation. Wow. Leaving only...
Yeah, 2 flankers down for Mr. Tripp there. One needs confirming still.
That's one.
The
How
second
did
hospital.
Fever survive that? How did he survive McGlock's being in there? I flew away too early.
So Fever came in as well as EJ. EJ was the first one to die from McGlock's. I don't think they expected a second defender in the hospital. Now Jason and Fever in a bit of a fight here. Fever gonna just stay tucked and let his presence do the job of defending the hospital.
Yeah, and Tripp just kind of sitting up on north roof, looking around, see if he can pick off. He heard from his teammates that somebody's in hospital, and he is trying to find him, but, you know, no go on that, as Fever is tucked inside very nicely, as well as Chachinobi. But I was on Chachinobi earlier, and I noticed, like, he was really backed up against the wall, and again, a foot clipping through could be detrimental, as giving away your position, even if you can get shot and killed from that as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think Mr. Tripp is really Overwatch at this point, making sure that South defender stays pinned. But as we say that, Fever escapes without being spotted. Mr. Tripp doing a rotation as well. Mr. Tripp was in a fantastic position to get that pick, but just onward timing right there.
Yep. We can say it every time we cast, but it still happens every time. Onward timing is the thing.
When an attack on Chachinobi comes in, Mr. Tripp flashes him, runs around looking for him, goes for the knife, and gets taken down by Fever.
Did he have the knife out?
I think he did. I
no,
think he
go.
did. Oh.
Going for style points. I like it, Tripp. I like it, Mr. Tripp.
Yeah, he had a great play there. I mean, double onward timing, right? If he had killed Fever, he would have had 2 kills at this point, and then they'd have a cap. They'd honestly have a cap open if that had happened. But instead, it's Undead and who was the other one? Jason left alive.
And Mr. Tripp had killed 2 in the north on the flank. So, like, honestly, he could have had Fever, and then Fever or Chachinobi would have probably had to rotate after that. But now Short Undead does know where Chachinobi is based on those shots there, which is going to probably tunnel vision Short Undead a little bit and may give Fever the opportunity to make this shot.
Yeah, it seemed like Short Undead was the one who called it to Mr. Tripp that Chachinobi was there, and a smoke gonna land too far to really do any damage. Undead really running low on options. If he goes south, he's exposed. Yeah, if he goes south, he's exposed. If he goes north, he's exposed to Fever. So what can he do at this point?
It's really a good rotation if he goes back through the fuselage and tries to come around the other side. It's honestly the best option he has now based on what we can see as casters. Now, he has no idea, you know, exactly where these people are. You know, they don't see the player tags in the outlines, so he's going off of map knowledge and audio cues from the gunshots and, you know, knowing which rotations to take here.
Yeah, I think he knows Chachinobi's position. He might have an inkling to Fever's position. And he's kind of taking an angle that would have had a spot onto Fever, but now he's going to take a wider angle to attack Chachinobi, which Fever will not be able to support. He's looking for Chachinobi. He gets the pick. He's on OBJ. Can he get this fast enough? Fever not reacting. 10 seconds. He does.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, what a rotation. Fever. I just hope he doesn't have his tablet on him.
I just didn't think he had, I think Fever thought there wasn't enough time for that to happen.
That's possible, yep.
Because there was like, what, 8 to 10 seconds left? But Undead... 7
seconds left after the cap.
Yeah, Undead took the information about his teammates' deaths, right? He knew where Chachinobi was early, and then Mr. Tripp died to Fever. So Undead takes that wide angle that was safe, right? He kind of, let's see if this will work. He basically chose to Mr. Tripp came this way. This is not going to work.
NFL strats coming out.
We're trying here.
I like it. Let's make it
Trying.
work.
But Mr. Tripp attacked close, got shot by Fever, and then Undead took the line, which was not visible for Fever, took that straight line into OBJ, capped in 4 seconds, and even if Fever was rotating, I don't think he would have had time to kill him.
No, I don't think so either. He would have had to throw in a flash, maybe to slow him down.
Yeah.
It's about the only chance you had there is a double flash. That's why, on defense, I always like to bring at least one flash, if not two. If I feel like it's a utility heavy, maybe a grenade heavy type of area, I'll bring a grenade, but always flashes because, man, you're going to totally blind somebody for 7 or 8 seconds. If you're running back to the objective or need to approach a corner, the flash is where it's at. Now, smokes can give you 35 seconds of cover, but if you don't land that smoke perfectly to block somebody's view, and they can still cap in smoke. So a flash is pretty wide range and does completely disable that player for 7 seconds or so.
For sure. Very, very useful, especially if we're going to be one of those far out defenders who has to make some quick rotations. We're going to move over to the gas station OBJ, and we've got pretty tight defense except for that one defender in Impact. Looks like that's going to be Jason, who might be the first to encounter contact with at least 3 attackers nearing his position.
Yeah, EJ here taking a very wide approach, very far west approach. No real action going to go down on this side. As like you mentioned, Jason inside Impact and Mr. Tripp behind gas station. Excellent angle by Short Undead sitting at the opening door of hospital roof, looking back at the end of Tailwing. Very, very meta spot, but very popular, or very powerful, I should say. So it's almost has to be played either there or in the stairs looking out the windows. Which, if Short Undead was in the stairs looking out the windows now, he would be finding Chachinobi in the South Dunes, but also Chachinobi looking through those windows as well.
Yeah, either he finds him or Chachinobi's bullets find him. Chachinobi, they almost interacted there for a second. They almost engaged, but Undead went back.
Okay, -1.
Jason does get taken out by EJ as the onslaught of attackers were coming in. And EJ going to disable that C4 on his body.
어디요? 화재 집중.
I've played with EJ a lot. Very good man. And he recently just enlisted in the military there in Korea and had to go on some deployment for a while and now back in the game. So regardless of nationality and where you're from, man, we appreciate everybody that does things for them and their family. EJ is such a good person, but I'm going to have to ask him to shorten up his name to 1E because I constantly want to say EJ. He just needs to be E and J, all right?
I mean, it's already hard enough that the team name is in the beginning.
I know. I always say KFOT too, instead of Dita and Seal and Fever and yeah.
Yeah.
It's just make your names easy, guys. Everybody out there. Quit trying to make it hard on the casters. Quit trying to play on words. Like GT24U view. Yeah, just make it GT.
Broken building down.
McGlux does find Fever. A very nice shot through that rubble. And suppressed as well, so not sure if the Impact building attackers know where he is, although Seal is looking this way. Probably has an idea, at least.
Man, what I love about this game is, as if you're close to the KFOT members and hearing the audio, it's for us Americans, simple Americans. Most of us know one language. A couple of there's people out there that know a couple languages, but hearing the fact that you're playing with people from all different parts of the world, different languages. Just brings that immersion feel of the game, and they could be right on the other side of you, right around the corner, and they're talking, and you're like, all right, Are they saying they're gonna push on me? Do they know where I'm at? You know, like, do they have no clue? Just another aspect of the game that's very impressive and fun.
Seal now in a crosshair of yellow lasers as he had a great flash and push onto McGlocks. McGlocks really had no chance of survival. And EJ was also supporting him with some suppressive fire. Dita gonna round up with Seal as they plan their push out of center burning next. But lasers dialing in.
Look at Chachinobi just sneaking around the backside here of Hospital, creeping in. Nobody really realizing he's here. As Short Undead does fall to his death, but laid back egg really close. Is he gonna spot? He does spot Chachinobi. Steel capping? Is Steel capping? Oh man, close to capping there as Trip finds him.
Oh wow, that was a huge pick there. Seal just finds that pick up top and skirts his way up forward. A great awareness, and Laidback gonna find himself a second now, all up to Ditto with 2 defenders and 1 who is undead as he gets some utility out.
Great smoke on objective, but Trip does peek that corner, finding him across the street.
That's gonna be the map for Newbies. Coming off of some really strong rounds there. Great plays from them. As we're gonna go on to
begin. Just a few seconds ago, I thought that was going to be K-Fot's map as our match, or round, I should say, as they were doing impressive encroachment there on the Hospital. Chachinobi really sneaking in the backside there and just not aware of the guy sitting behind the boxes.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Seal was probably he was on OBJ for at least a second, so you know, might have had an opportunity for a cap. Mr. Tripp, that would a fantastic rotation to shut that down. Understanding where that pick came from and where they might be attacking from. But yeah, you're right. I think there was one really strong K-Fot round, and then Newbies adjusted and shut everything down after that.
Yeah, the caps are so detrimental. I mean, they are, you know, not only, you know, physically losing, but mentally just play a big part of your game. You know, getting capped on, you know, big 2-point swing like that, hard to come back from something like that. Because then you go right back on the offense, which is even harder to do than being on defense.
For sure. Looks like we're gonna be jumping to Bazaar for map 2.
They were in a bazaar, then backed out.
Ah, they did back out. Pulled a bait and switch on me.
Yep. It looks like they're going to be re-hosting on us.
Well, looks to be fast enough that we don't have to go to intermission, which is fantastic. But we will be going to a bazaar, looks like.
And bazaar, not far. I mean, yes, it is. The map is quite large, but it really brings it down to almost a close quarter map with just a few lanes of long range. So you're getting a little bit of both sides there. And again, bazaar, very strategic type map due to the size of it. You do have to have that close quarter, that CQB type mentality, but you also have to have awareness of, you know, the long range. It's 4 cargos in 1, basically.
For sure. Alrighty, as I try to join this lobby, most of them are filing in.
First objective is going to be the southeast courtyard. Do love this objective. Gives you that wide open little courtyard area. You got 4 buildings on each side of the objective. Get a little stairway, tin shack, just so many spots you can hide and approach from. Brings a lot of good onward action. Right.
So what are you predicting for KFOT to change up this map here?
I think this one is going to play in KFOT's favor. I know that they've picked it. Obviously, that's their map pick, but you know they are picking it for a reason. Wait.
It's Newbies pick.
Newbies pick. That's right. That's right. But I still think this plays into more of KFOT style here. They do like a little more close quarters as well. And for them, man, I think what's going to play a helpful factor is they can make that flank work a little bit more here. I think because you can be under more cover on a map like this, that your flanks can be more protected. Now you may miss a few more lines, but you're also a little more protected where you can really sneak up on some people. And in general, I've seen KFOT do it. They run a lot of like 3- and 4-man pushes. So if you're overpowering certain courtyards, it's going to be beneficial to them in this one.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how Newbies try to shut down the flank. But hey, they've got to have something up their sleeve as well to want to go into this map pick here. So I'm going to expect a close, feisty battle. We will have to see.
Oh,
Early lines taken up by the defenders. KFOT here in the middle of the street trying to watch for any crosses.
One dodged my shots at the fridge.
Mr. Tripp, though, putting shots. Immediately, KFOT's going to rotate off of that and go on a push. Heading up to blue room. And Egg does hear him.
And let's not forget about the predictions going up here on map number 2. Go ahead and bet on them channel points. Who you believe is going to win map number 2, Newbies or KFOT?
Seal with the great flash onto Egg, but unable to push off of it. Gonna toss a second one, also probably catching Egg, but if he pushes, Mr. Tripp will find him. If he doesn't push, Egg will look for him. Egg looks, not gonna find him. Seal aiming onto Jason next, putting some shots. And this smoke might actually help KFOT push out, or Seal push out. Meanwhile, McGlocks and Eej gonna trade.
I like this aggression pushing by Seal there, getting in that blue room across the street. You know, he's so far away from the objective per se, as in visuals, that they're not gonna be ready for it. As Seal does make this rotation, looking underneath scaffolding, getting picked by Jason.
Yeah, Egg and Jason doing some work there. Egg also picking off, let's see, who was that? I think that was Dida in the bar. Or no, not Dida. Someone else. Probably, I think it was Fever, because Fever is not alive.
And Seal giving call outs here the best he can while he is still bleeding and down there. I would imagine laid back A could hear those comms coming out, but not wanting to peek through that doorway. They want to try to confirm this guy so they don't give out more call outs.
Yeah, definitely Newbies condensing a bit more and getting that confirmed. Final push gonna be starting soon from the north, it seems, which is probably the weaker side for the defense as well, because they've made a couple holes in it. Dida and Chachinobi not on this side of OBJ.
Dida is staying back here in the south, just really, scanning through the objective courtyard the best he can. A little far off again, so very risky, but very powerful position to take. But with only 2 left, I would feel like it would be more comfortable for me if we were all closer to the objective.
Yeah, Chachinobi is in a very tight line, finds one pick. Now they know where he is. They look for the picks. Chachinobi and Mr. Tripp gonna trade. Dida finding him as well. Laid back, Dida and Jason left alive. Jason knows where he is. Looking for him.
Yeah, and the thing is Dida's position, on my camera, you can cap from right here where Dida cannot see you. So if laid back Egg knew there was only one up, he could crawl in there without having Dida see him. And obviously we're casters, we see everything, we know where everybody's at. These guys don't.
The
laid back Egg and
the problem is that Egg doesn't know Chachinobi traded with Mr. Tripp. So Laidback is worried about that.
Yeah, but I think even if Jason does maybe peek this and Dida gets one, the other player is going to know he is way back there, and it's going to be a huge disadvantage as Jason is moving in for this cap.
Yeah, Jason's going to try. I don't know how close he has to get from this side.
Jason's going for it.
Can he get it from there? He's trying. And he does.
And they knew he was in the south. What an excellent communication there by those guys. Making those calls out, hey, he's got to be in the south. Get some pre.
No doubt that was a fantastic play from the Newbies and putting up a second cap for the day for them. Jason knew where Dida was the whole time. Jason felt more confident that Chachinobi wasn't there, it seems. Maybe he heard the shots and was able to tell it was a trade, and it looked like Laidback was hesitant a bit more. But you were right, the cap opportunity was there for quite a while. And I think if Dida had just rotated a tiny bit, right? If Dida had just gotten, let's see. If Dida had just gotten to the boxes in the south, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then there would have been less. If Dida was here and watching this cone, there would have been no cap. But Dida being at the fringe over there left more openings for caps. Just a slight, probably 5 degrees of difference, right? Makes a difference there.
Yeah, and one great thing, and one other thing to think about, as we sit here, Etch and I are here in the U.S., so we are, I'm Eastern time zone. I'm not sure where Etch is located. It's 6 o'clock
East Coast,
in the
West
afternoon.
Coast.
Exactly. This is why we're doing this together, Etch. But, it's almost 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Now the KFOT team, they're in Korea, and it is 7:45 in the morning on Sunday. Right, so they got up at 6:30 in the morning on a Sunday to play Onward in this matchup against the Newbies. And I'm not exactly sure where they're all located, but they're a European team. In Europe, it's almost midnight. So, I mean, think about these different time zones and, what these guys are going through here. As 6 o'clock in the afternoon, we're in our prime time here. These guys are either waking up or about to go to bed. And
Yeah, I mean,
still,
who
you know, giving it
who's
all.
got? I do wonder who's got more motivation. You know, the team playing at midnight or the team playing at 7 a.m.
Right, exactly. And again, that's why I love this game, because you can get on at 24 hours a day, and usually there's always good lobbies to be on. In the north, EJ's going to make that cross blindly.
One cross. One
Did
cross
take
into the east.
shots, but said, heck with it. I'm shooting you back before I
아니요,
cross.
모르겠어요. 잠시만요.
The tough cross to make, but they do get one across. They're trying to get the second across, and each gonna find Mr. Tripp. Big time pick.
모르겠어요.
Yep. I do like that re-approach, re-pick there as EJ did. They're not expecting you to look back on the road after you've done crossed it already. And I've seen more kills and casts come that way than someone trying to pre-fire or go across there.
Yeah, especially with Mr. Tripp having to deal with still trying to hold that cross, right? Because Chacha could have crossed as well. So he's looking at a lot more than EJ is looking at. So that plays a factor into it. Because he's still trying to hold that corner, left side corner, but EJ's on the right side attacking him. And the angles just are going to work out in EJ's favor at that point.
뭐 뿌리고 진행할까요?
I thought Onward's supposed to be easy. Just go out there and shoot people. It's all this thinking, you know, and strategizing. It's unlimited, you know. I mean, the amount of things you can do in this game and the knowledge you can learn, you know, the tricks up your sleeve, the positions you can take, especially as a team as well.
Offense stalling a little bit, just trying to check all the spots. They're a little worried about scaffolding, it seems. I mean, considering they put defenders there, it's a reasonable concern. Looking over there, making sure they're not going to get surprised by any pushes from behind. But going to cross the main street now, make their push into the east, which is quite dangerous for this defense.
Yeah, I'd like to think the best approach is through the north as Seal is approaching this. Once you can clear out these two buildings up here, the bar and the souvenir shop, got pretty good control of what can happen in the courtyard with utility and peeking the windows and doorways. It's so hard to push in the south and the east because of the fact that people can sit in the south and east as Laid Back Egg is doing, and it's a hard position to deal with. Seal throwing a great smoke onto the objective here.
Laid Back probably hearing some of this movement here. Looking for Chacha and gonna find a trade there, luckily. Shots coming in. Seal maybe trying to go for a cap in the smoke. Creeping up, gonna be exposed. McGlock's gonna get the kill and save the cap. Dida and McLocks with a trade. Now we're into a 2v2. Dida still resable, though. Probably in a good spot to get rezzed.
Yeah, Eid should be able to get this res, hopefully. Short Undead did leave his position here in the southeast corner. Or no, it wasn't. There was a kill here. It's like a trade came out earlier. I missed that. But
yeah, the southeast, Chacha and not McLocks. Who was that? Laid Back Egg, maybe? Had a trade there.
And EJ not coming back for this res just yet. Maybe Dita couldn't find his mic, or just trying to stay quiet, hoping they would notice on their tablet.
And Fever
All down to
finding
one member.
one more. Yeah, just Undead left, running around, gets spotted by Fever, gets second time spotted, and Undead. Not going to give the cap, at least.
Yep. Very nicely done. On both sides. I mean, the defense was good. They held it down, but KFOT just overpowered them coming through the offense and taking the positions they needed. And coming through those north little buildings right there, the courtyard, is where a lot of that went down. You know, get control of them two north buildings, the souvenir shop and the bar. And once you get control of those, you can really kind of set up shop and just start making your approaches.
Yeah, I would agree. I think giving up the east without getting a pick there hurt them. I would argue that Mr. Tripp was in the superior angle to defend it, especially with that utility coming out. So, you know, when you draw that up, you say, hey, look, we're going to at least get one pick, if not shut down anybody trying to go across. Didn't work out, and the dominoes started falling from that point on. But definitely, I think Undead, it looked like he was a little concerned about not having the right angle, so ran out a little bit and just tried to die at that point, and worked out.
That's the better play. You're one man left, and you know you maybe don't have a good kill count, or even if you know there's two left, you can't really sit and hide and just kind of watch a very small, tight angle, as you don't want to get capped on. You do want to draw some fire and find out where those guys are at before they do cap on you.
Yeah, absolutely. But
I'll be back in 1 second.
no problem. While we're here, thank you to all of our viewers. See many of you in chat. We're gonna have a couple more casts tonight. I believe we have at least one, if not two, planned for tonight, and maybe some tomorrow as well. So buckle up. We're gonna have more onward action coming your way shortly. We are going to be moving objectives to the Split Street OBJ. A classic OBJ.
Says no. Can you play? Thank you. Fuck it, I'm gonna go fruits key up.
Mike, guys, before we run out of time.
I can't. Yes, please.
Let's follow along with Jason as this offense pushes out. 2 going quick southeast, 1 going west, and 2 pushing Kiat.
Yeah. No, nobody visible in the pre-fire spot. Watch for flankers.
Got laid back egg pushing the southeast. Gonna maybe come into contact with Chachinobi where they had a trade last round. So reversal of roles here. Pretty tight defense though. Uncharacteristic based off of what we've seen today. Chacha hearing.
Yeah, I'm back. I was gonna say Chachinobi on the other side of the wall, not played very often like that. Really gonna confuse laid back egg.
Chacha does find him, and laid back wasn't even looking.
No, and who would think you'd be on that side of the wall, honestly, as you're exposed to that southwest approach?
Yeah, quite exposed, but maybe, let's see. You might be in cover from much of the southwest. If you approach close, you would be visible, but definitely an ambush position. McLock's now gonna have to deal with it. Let's jump over to the other side. Just some pre-fire coming out for Mr. Tripp and Kiat. Meanwhile, Short Undead looking for Fever. Fever staying tucked though. Not gonna be able to pick him very easily. But EJ gonna find Mr. Tripp, and Undead not gonna catch Fever on that rotation. EJ looking for a second round of shots towards someone. Maybe we're Undead where he thought Undead was.
And again, the KFOT defense with the wide spread, as Chachinobi is still back here, as a lot of actions going down around objective. I know you have 5 members up. You know, you gotta trust in your teammates, but man, this would make me nervous being this far away.
Yeah, Seal on that flank finds Jason with some great peek and shoot as Jason tried to keep him pinned. Couldn't. McLock's meanwhile gonna attack Fever. Looking for him, but Dida gonna find him from the far west.
Excellent work.
that time, and we were talking early in the round, like how, wow, K-Fought really staying reserved, but they waited. They waited till they got a couple picks and then pushed out, with Dida going to the west and I think Seal going to the northeast. But that's the guerrilla warfare bazaar. It's really how it's one of the ways many teams choose to play it, because it's very hard to defend.
Yeah, and that's like we mentioned pre the match, is the fact that Bazaar, it's close quarters, but it's also very large, to where if you put them wide flanks out there, it's not like running across the downfall or an abandon where you got to cover a lot of open ground on flanks. A map like this, you can flank and never be seen or never see anybody because it's so close quarters in different areas. So positioning yourself correctly on them flanks like Chachinobi did. He was exposed to a slight angle, but he could see so much more from that side. And no one's really going to expect somebody that far away from the objective being in that southwest corner or southeast corner.
For sure. It's a hard map to attack on any OBJs. This one in particular, and we'll have to see how Newbies adjust. We're tied up on this map, 2-2. I think it's gonna be really close. I think, despite that early cap, I'm gonna wager a close scoreline.
Yeah, I do too. I honestly think it's going to be a 9-round decider here. We are going to go 4-4 to a 9-round decider. That's my guess.
It looks like offensively we're going to have a heavy east push, while defensively we've got one hanging out kind of still in spawn. Jason going to be the one defender to maybe try to challenge the attackers in the east. And he does call it out, knows they're coming his way. In a tight ambush spot, though. Jason finds EJ running past him, gets that pick, looks for any other attackers, gets spotted by Seal, gets shots taken on him. He tucks down and runs away. And now they're on the hunt.
And Jason did get one, so he did his job, and he's also slowing down this team.
But he was getting pinched from both sides. Does get taken out from the back. Mr. Tripp, though, going to find Chachinobi in the meanwhile. Looks like that was in Bazaar. So down to 4 defenders. 2 close to OBJ, 1 south, 1 blue room. Seal coming close to contact with McGlocks, but Undead there to possibly protect him. I think he spotted Seal, but McGlocks with the C4 to take him out.
Protecting your backside in that blue room. Very, very good call there by McGlocks. Protecting that doorway. Surprised there's no confirmation from McGlocks. Very rarely is a C4 a insta-kill. I mean, it has to be basically on your head.
My C4 kill in blue room.
As Laidback Egg and Dita are about to approach each other here, as Laidback finds that last kill on Dita here in the south.
It looks like McGlocks did know his kill was only a down, but he was seeing if Undead could confirm it for him without, him exposing to Bazaar. It didn't end up mattering, but it was a at least to see if it was possible. I think that's what he was trying for.
No, it was, it's very good play there by McGlocks. If you do have somebody else that is already out there in the open that can see you're down and get that kill for you, and that's just teamwork right there. That's not McGlocks worrying about his KDs. That's my kill. I want that. He's worried about his team and winning and not peeking an angle he doesn't have to peek.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
dead body isn't going to do nothing, or that down body isn't going to do nothing to hurt him.
Right.
but peeking that corner and getting killed will.
Exactly. And situationally, I mean, he knew that if there was another nearby attacker, he would hear him, or he would have gotten it with the C4. So it was safe to like let that down just be down for a little bit of time. So I think it was a good play because they did know there were attackers in Bazaar. There was one, and then there was a second. So there was definitely a palpable risk there that he chose not to take, and they end up getting the point. I think we're seeing two styles at play, right? I think a very
Yes.
risk-taking style and one that is more conservative and trying to stay alive as much as possible. And it's very interesting to watch them go at it.
Yes, it is. And it's been a lot of defensive rounds back and forth. But K-Pop with a more aggressive, dangerous style of play is throwing wrenches, into the play of the newbies who are more, methodical and slow approaching. As EJ is pushing up, getting the Glocks in the back of Kiat here, and not happy with just one kill, pushing further.
Finds a second, and Jason Didda gonna find Mr. Tripp. Laid back gonna get that refrag. EJ though, there.
Getting the refrag, the refrag. Another kill.
The 3 frag. How about that? A 3 frag.
And quickly, Newbies down to one man, short on dead, with a tough road ahead of him on 4 members of KFOT still up on this defense. And
Takes shots from Fever and does get taken down.
55-second round. I mean, a 5-kill, 55-second round. It wasn't even a 5-man ambush. That's
Well,
you don't see that very often.
while we were talking about how one side's being conservative, they were pretty aggressive there. They came out with that pre-fire. They thought maybe it would hold the defense back, but they didn't kill EJ. EJ, they had to get that kill behind Kiat. They didn't. Ended up costing him 3 attackers, which is really the problem. But I think they wanted to push the aggression there, maybe turn the tempo up a little bit, but it looked like they were trying to change things up, and it just didn't work that round. Very quick. It was either going to very quickly be positive or very quickly be negative.
Yeah, that's not the newbie style as we've been seeing throughout the match so far. As we've been seeing, it's been more of a slow and like we'd say, methodical approach. But trying to push aggression with aggression, somebody's going to win that battle.
Yeah. Now let's see what KFOT's aggression is going to look like if they are going to be aggressive.
And they do get the quick spawn, as they could push onto it. Dita finding short undead right there in the hallway already. EJ pushing the backside, north side of Kiat. Mr. Tripp here, not quite exposed yet.
Now Mr. Tripp is going to get attacked. He's looking, and EJ going to find him in the back. Quick turn of tide for KFOT.
5v3. KFOT not slowing down, constantly moving forward. They're not holding back.
C4 a tad early. Seal almost getting a team kill on EJ. Jason gonna peek and get taken out quickly. Now a 5v2. Laid back gonna find Seal though. Quick pick there. Gonna get refragged by Didda. All up to McGlock. Smoke coming in. He is concerned.
He is. And in the north, EJ is going to start pushing through here. See if he goes through this hallway. Throwing some smoke out. But McGlock has no idea this is happening on this north approach.
McGlock's hanging out where he best could hang out, but the kill comes out. Alas, not the cap. Newbie's still alive.
Yeah, and that was the right play by McGlock there, because the fact that 2 points would have won the match. And you do not want to get capped on. So he was as close as he possibly could be, exposed as possible,
Yeah.
ready to get in a gunfight, but very willing to die and only lose 1 point on that.
For sure, and the aggression paid off for KFOT that time with some early picks and a hard pinch at the end. And 2 quick rounds. I mean, those were 2 pretty much 1-minute rounds, and KFOT are up a point.
Yep. 55 seconds on the first one and 1:12 on the second one. The last 2, I should say.
Yeah.
First and
Yeah.
second. But yeah, the last 2 rounds, you know, averaging about a minute apiece, just all out. Let's see who can win this gunfight.
Yep, and they have both gone KFOT's way, so let's see. I mean, this is now pretty crucial round for Newbies here. They want to take this to a 2-map win.
And we do have the Eastern Tank Objective.
I might just stay up on here.
Very
up on
fun
here
one
and
as
watch around
well.
to flank around north.
A little bit out in the open, but
why
very
not?
close quarters around the edges of it. To cap it, you have to be on this tank, either one side or the other. So you are very exposed to try to get a cap, as the Newbies would sure like that to happen, as a cap would win the map for them. But KFOT just 1 point away from taking this victory in map number 2.
KFOT in the fashion we've seen today, pushing out as much as they can. Seal up in the middle of the street. EJ up to apartments. I mean, they have taken up a massive amount of this map here.
If you don't have the mini map up, you should bring that up, as you can see the long line across. It's just crazy the amount of space that KFOT is holding down.
Right now, this is their territory, and it's insane.
Yep, it's half the map, and Bazaar is huge. And they're saying this half is ours. Do what you can.
Looks like we did have a trade with the defender in the middle of the main street. EJ still alive and looking for targets. Hunting.
Yep, what I'm like seeing from the KFOT team is they pushed out and then started looking in on a few spots. Like Chachinobe, he pushed out to the blue room, you know, but he's looking in towards the objective. He's not, you know, trying to get too peaky to where he's looking out.
Yeah, KFOT getting lucky with that spawn as well. I think if it was the blue room, or sorry, the Kiot spawn, you know, Newbies might have had some lines on them, preventing some of that aggression. But with this spawn, they didn't. And they're lucky. Newbies are lucky right now to be 4-4 based on that aggression. McLocks and Fever going to be trading.
Yeah, and EJ saw the smoke from Jason as he does reposition himself to watch this back hallway here in the southwest, just waiting for Jason to peek this edge. Missing his shots, letting Jason get past him, but now that's going to be a gun battle between the 2 buildings.
Yeah, now there's lasers from the east side as well, kind of dialing into EJ's position. He's got to have to be careful. He could get spotted by Mr. Tripp.
Yeah, EJ does not want to get total tunnel vision on Jason. You don't want to get shot in the back as a flanker. You are getting further and further away from objective, as that guy is no harm to the current objective. So, you know, you got to play that one way or the other. You're going to go hunting for him, or did you do your job and back off and get closer to objective? As EJ is going to try to continue that.
Looks like Dita and Mr. Tripp are going to trade. EJ, though, going to find Jason finally after hunting for him.
Chachinobe the only one on objective now, though. 1 member left of the Newbies, all down to laid back egg. How will he play this one out? We shall see.
Yeah, EJ might be finding him from the backside if EJ turns a bit to the east, and he might be soon. As soon as layback is identified, I think EJ will look for him, although he might opt to go south as well. Or come back north. Who knows? They've been as unpredictable as anything today.
They're very unpredictable. But it's showing to be in a positive manner here on this last match.
For sure. Yeah, the unpredictability has kept Newbies on their toes, and they just couldn't really deal with it. It really slowed them down, killed time. I mean, Egg is looking 180 degrees right now, trying to figure out where to go.
Yeah, and EJ did rotate across the street. Did not see Egg in the street as he is trying to approach the north side of this street. Should find laid back Egg as he tucks in behind the boxes.
Oh, so close. Egg is just inches from death.
He has no idea how close he is to dying right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you were saying, the aggression from KFOT is, man, you're a minute in and you got to worry about turning around and looking behind you. That's a scary moment, you know? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
as an offense pushing, you're like, you shouldn't have to look behind you, you know, in a map this size.
Yeah, and Egg is anything but laid back at this point. Final point, he is just, he's got his head on a swivel trying to look at every direction. Might not even have a good count. I guess he saw 2 bodies there at this point. If he can...
I don't see how he's going to make this cross.
He had to
with
get
here.
EJ before, but he didn't, and EJ going to find that final pick, get that final point, putting up KFOT 5-3 on map number 2.
Yep, and a great map by KFOT. Unfortunately, the Newbies did, held KFOT to only 1 point on map number 1, which is going to give the Newbies the match win tonight, 8-6.
Yeah, it was a great map. I think you were right in the play style of KFOT coming in handy on this map. I think if you took out that cap, it would have been even more one-sided from KFOT. Although the cap was a great play by Newbies. Obviously, we can't take it out, but 2 rounds to Newbies and 5 to KFOT there. And Quarantine was really well played by Newbies, and they were able to shut down those flanks in a way that they just couldn't on Bazaar. And some of that just depended on spawns. If they got different spawns, they would have had earlier angles, and they could have done some of that. But that's just the nature of this map, and it played into KFOT's hand really well. And that last round, I mean, they did not back down from any of that, even though they just needed 1 point. They kept their foot on the pedal and just kept playing the way they play.
Yep, exactly. And in the beginning, I even thought this was KFOT's pick, because I was like, ooh, it's more of a close quarters type map, and they're good at that, and I've seen them play that quite well. Not that the Newbies didn't do well, but they were up against some very, aggressive randomness for the most part. Like, you just didn't know where these guys were coming from. And as we talked earlier, like switching up, whether you're going to be aggressive or not aggressive, and it can play in a positive manner, it can play in a negative manner, but you have to have the ability to have that map knowledge. You have to have tablet awareness, know if the objective is covered, and you got to trust your teammates. And KFOT showed that on map number 2 here, that everything worked out for them.
For sure, and getting those points, I mean, they did get, pretty heavily, taken out in points in map 1, but they kept their head on, and they came in and won map 2, 5-3, and it helps them, it's going to help them not lose too much SRS for the week. And that's important, maintaining position and making sure that you're hanging on even in the matches that you lose is really important to keep your position on the leaderboard. But that was a fantastic matchup to tune into, an EU matchup. I think we've got a couple more lined up for tonight. Are you going to be picking anything up, Lampy? Anything you've decided so far?
I am picking one up, but I am going to leave that as a surprise just because of the fact I don't know which one I'm picking yet. But yes, there will be either an 8 or a 9 p.m. Eastern matchup that I will pick up. I think there's another caster or two that may be picking that up, or we may just go together and co-cast. But definitely still going to be some more matchups tonight here on the IVRL Twitch account.
Fantastic. Some more onward action for our Saturday evening. But that's going to be it from us for this Newbies versus KFOT matchup. Final score 8-6. Newbies taking home a win, a map piece for each team. And we were your casters, Etch and Lampy28. We hope you had a fantastic cast. And thank you to everybody who makes IVRL possible. Moderators, sponsors, casters, board members, volunteers of all kinds. And of course, the players, whom without we can't have a league. Thank you all for being here. That's going to be it from us. Goodbye.
Good night.